All right, the Detroit Lions with a hell of a comeback, hell of an effort from Romeo Cora. They got to bring him back. He might get paid somewhere else though. But they defeat the Bears. What was it, 34-30? A lot of us thought the game was over with, man. But yeah, Romeo Cora had to play maybe of the year for the Lions, where he came across and I think he stripped Mitchell Trubisky. Next play, I thought they should have kind of ran the clock out. They ran the ball with Peterson. But let's get to the game. Check out our Detroit Lions reaction playlist. We do know we got Piston basketball coming up, so we got some things planned for that. Season preview and stuff of that nature. Don't forget you can follow me on Sportscastr for all my live streams that I do in the world. Click the link, create a profile. It's free. Also, you can find me at Goodfellas Sports TV right here on YouTube and Goodfellas Sports TV 2.0. So make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, bell icon button, share the game. And I kind of missed a little bit of the beginning of the game. I woke up late, had to double check my fantasy lineup, which I ain't had time. I woke up at like they got 12:56. Like Jesus. But I went to sleep last night watching the Earl Spence fight, man. It was a hell of a performance by that man. So tip my hat off to Earl. But yeah, you know, apparently we blocked another punt or another kick, whatever it was, another punt. You know, two missed field goals, 2 extra points, excuse me. I think they kicker missed the extra point. I seen that. Prater missed the extra point. I seen that. It was a penalty. But yeah, Stafford, he looked good today. He looked like he was a little bit rejuvenated today. And you know, it was his ball was whipping. He threw the deep pass to Quintez Cephas for a touchdown. Caught Marvin Jones late in the game with a touchdown. Hockenson looked good today. He looked nimble. He had the hell of the catch of the game. And Trubisky just had our number. He didn't have a tremendous game. He had 1 touchdown, 270 yards, but it looked like it's about to be another Trubisky dude. But Cordell Patterson, you know, hasn't been a thorn in our side, man. He had a hell of a game. Run on the inside, run on the outside. He had 1 catch, I think, today. David Montgomery looked really good today. He was running with a lot of power. You know, he was looking fantastic. And then you had a situation where, you know, the Komet, the tight end, looked good. You know, so the Bears was kind of doing their thing early on. They had the lead damn near the whole game. It's just that they couldn't go to that next gear and blow us out. You know, our defense played well enough, but they couldn't go to that next gear. And pretty much that's what allowed us to get in the game. The Bears just couldn't put up enough points. Montgomery was running good today, but it wasn't like they was going up and down the field and scoring. They was going up and down the field, kicking field goals and, you know, barely getting into the end zone. And obviously, if you bet the over in this game, you won because over and under, I think it was, I can't remember, it was like maybe 47. And they put up more points than you thought. And that was a huge road win at Soldier Field, man. Stafford had some of his biggest disappointments in Soldier Field, especially the year Julius Peppers separated his shoulder or broke his collarbone, whatever it was. But, you know, Marvin Jones showed up today. He led the team with, 114 yards, a touchdown. And, you know, Stafford his arm looked good today. And what he's doing is either auditioning to retain his starting spot next year, or he auditioning for another team next year because he still got it. And then there was a play I retweeted on Twitter. Frank Ragnow just obliterated Akeem Hicks off the line of scrimmage, pancaked him, dominating him. And that's what you need. That's what the Lions need, an outdoor mentality where your offensive linemen are just nasty and they pancaking guys and they just dominating guys. And pretty much that's what they did today. You know, the offensive line, a lot of times, dominated the line of scrimmage. And on that last Adrian Peterson touchdown, they dominated the line of scrimmage. And that's kind of been a weak point for Chicago all year, is they haven't been able to stop the run like they was in previous years with Matt Nagy. And we was able to have some success running the ball. And, you know, plain and simple, they just wasn't a better football team than us this year. The record may show 1-1, but really we beat ourselves, or some injuries beat us the first game. And this team played with a pep in the step. It played with, you know, the defensive lineman got upfield. Everson Griffin had a spin move sack. Cora made the play of the game, stripping Mitchell Trubisky in their own end zone. I mean, they own, you know, say back to their own end zone. And that was a hell of a play. And Cora is, you know, you got to give it to him. He's the best defensive player. He's been the best player on the team. And, you know, they even got Hockenson and Jesse James caught a touchdown involved. And Hockenson looked good catching the ball. And he really made the jump to an elite tight end. We just ain't been able to see it because he ain't really been able to get those targets. But, you know, even Amendola caught a big ball today. You know, and it was just refreshing. I just knew they should have been able to beat the Bears. At one point, I'm like, man, you know, Stafford threw the pick where he's trying to throw the ball away. And I thought it was over with. Now, I'm not sure if they convert that into maybe a field goal. Had they converted that into a touchdown, shit, game would have been over with. It's a big difference between going down there and kicking a field goal and doing a touchdown. It's a 4-point difference. You know what I'm saying? And Chicago, kicking field goals. Had the kicker made that extra point, they would have just had to go down there and get a field goal. Obviously, you get a touchdown, and Trubisky ain't really using his legs, the way he should. He ain't really a threat. If he gonna sit in the pocket and operate like a surgeon and beat us, we'll take that. He didn't really lose his legs on that last drive, and the Lions played with a lot of passion today. They never gave up. They ran through a wall for Darrell Bevel. Corey Euland defense looked a little bit different. From Matt Patricia. They sent more blitzes, and did they get burned on the blitz on third down? They did his own blitz. Yeah, they got a first down, but Trubisky had to get the ball out hot, and Trubisky did a tremendous job. Of knowing where to go with the football today. He looked like an actual quarterback for a minute. He got it out hot when the blitzes came. They found a way to get to Cordell Patterson and the whole nine. And for Trubisky, just didn't put up 7, and that's Chicago's biggest weakness. Other than stopping the run, it's really committing to the run and their quarterback play. And their quarterback play really wasn't tremendous today. And that's kind of what it was. He did good enough to win, but when they got into the red zone, they didn't execute. Had they executed, the Lions would have lost by at least a touchdown or 10 points. But Euland defense looked good today for what he had. He blitzed. He switched it up. They played zone. They did zone blitzes. Everson Griffin got a sack. Okora got the sack of the day. And they made their presence been known. Could they stop the run as good as we wanted to? No. But then again, they held Montgomery enough in check to do what they had to do. And obviously, we know Tyreek Cohen. I think he got hurt in the game we played, or maybe later in the season. He didn't play. But you look at the end of the game, the Lions executed defensively. They got the strip sack, recovered it. Which historically don't happen for us. And then, Adrian Peterson run to the end zone. Allen Robinson gave his home city Detroit a good thing. He came around, stepped out of bounds, short of the first down. They ran it with Montgomery because they had one timeout left, and they got stopped. And that was like the last few plays, was the difference. Adrian Peterson got in there. Allen Robinson, boneheaded decision of the game, stepped out of bounds before getting the first round. And Aurarie slipped. He possibly could have ran it in the end zone. But the Lions got the stop when they needed to get it. They expected Chicago to run the ball. Now, had that timeout hadn't been on the board, maybe Chicago could have faked the first down and then got up and spiked it. But it was only like 16 or 11 seconds left, so they had to run the ball. But Jesus, that was a hell of a game. Stafford, I thought it was over when he threw the pick, but he persevered, and his arm looked good today. I don't know how much wind was at Soldier Field today, but his arm, he was whipping it. He was whipping that ball, going down the field to Cephas on point, whipped it to Marvin Jones down the field. Had a couple great catches by Hockenson. Jesse James caught a touchdown. Stafford's arm was looking as good as it looked all season. I don't know what it was. Was it the extended time to rest from Thanksgiving to this Sunday? Who knows? And Darrell Bevel, he got it to everybody, but Marvin Jones was the biggest target today. But Quintez Cephas had the catch of the day, or the catch downfield of the day. That was a hell of a catch by him getting downfield. Stafford put it on the money, touchdown. So, where the Bears didn't have the explosive plays that we had, that's basically what saved us, was the explosive plays downfield. And they got rid of Hall, and Cephas got a lot of burn. He got 2 catches. He had a 31.5 yard average per catch. But Marvin Jones' catch was dope at the end of the game too, catching the ball, man. But Darrell Bevel, man, there was a difference. These guys was happy. There was jubilee on the sideline with some good plays and played. And this team seemed like they would want to run in the wall for Darrell Bevel. And he coached a hell of a game. Offensively, I don't know if he called the plays, but good for him to get the first win of this as a head coach. And that's what it's about, game management. Corey Euland, he was another dude today. Called the game a little bit different. Blitz more. He sent linebackers. And then when they blitz more, then you got one-on-ones with Griffin and Okora. And they dominated the tackles of the Bears when they need to dominate them. And then they got to stop when you need to get to stop. They know they was running the ball. We knew they was running the ball. It was a front 5 versus our front 7. And what we did was we closed the gap. We filled the gap. And he had some issues with gap integrity, not setting the edge and allowing Cordell Patterson to not make him turn it back inside and get good yards. And if it was David Montgomery, they got to learn a little bit more gap discipline. But, with repetition and film work, that'll come. But, I was tired of Chicago and Trubisky owning us. I think he was like 4-0, 5-0 this year, owning us. And at one point, we beat the Bears like 2 or 3 straight seasons. But when they got Trubisky, it's just something about Trubisky that he was able to dominate the Detroit Lions. And that's one of the things I didn't like. We shouldn't be getting dominated by Mitchell Trubisky, which, he had some cracking games. Like, last year? He had a great game versus Tampa Bay. But then again, he's just not an NFL caliber starting cornerback. And Mitchell Trubisky shouldn't have the success that he had since against Matt Patricia. And Matt Patricia never, he never made the adjustments. And today, they made adjustments. They showed him zone. They showed him man blitzes. They showed him zone blitzes. They showed him sound combination coverage. And, they showed him they can stop the run when they count. And that's what it is. At the end of the day, Montgomery is a fantastic back. He just got to get more carries. And today they rode him, I thought at some point they were going to put Nick Foles in. And Trubisky started off bad today, but he really wasn't an issue. They just can't get the ball down the field in them explosive plays. That's the problem. You got Robinson and Miller who can get down the field, and then they also can't dump it off Tyreek Cohen. He get yards chunks, so they lack explosive plays just like we do. We lack explosive plays because we don't have explosive players that play today. They lack explosive plays because their quarterback can't get it down the field. Simple as that. When they get their explosive plays, they're from Cordell Patterson on trick plays or out the backfield. But, they couldn't get the ball down to Miller and Robinson. That was the biggest issue today, man. But we dominated the Care Bears 34-30. Well, I say we dominated the end of the fourth quarter. That's what we need, game management, clock management with Darrell Bevell today. And that's been lacking from the Lions for a while. So let me know what you guys think about the Lions beating the Care Bears from Chicago. They lost 5 straight. We tied right now in the NFC North, 5-7. We really should have beat them in the first game, but hey, it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request, all our social media links in the description. Twitter is the fastest way to reach me if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request. Then Facebook, then Instagram. You want to make a donation to the channel, Cash App CJ Good 313. That's in the description. PayPal link in the description. Best way to donate. Share the video. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button. We gone.